Hi, I'm Bill Ramsey from Right Fit HR of North America, and I have promised you 3 brainless steps to brilliant hires. So let's dive right in. We all know that an organization can never be stronger than its hiring processes. Even if you're not the final decision maker, think of it like this. Let's go back to our freshman year in college. So when we're there, all the fraternities and the sororities are putting on parties to show themselves off. So for all of us who go to those parties, only a few are going to get an invitation to come back to the next party. And of those, fewer still are going to really get a bid to join this certain Greek life. Even if you're not the ultimate decision maker in hiring at your organization, if you are the conduit to that person, that means you've been entrusted with one of the most important responsibilities of your organization. Because ultimately, whoever gets the bid is somebody that you invited to the party. So, you may be at the helm of an organization where your teams fit very, very well together, there's high productivity, there's great employee engagement, and if that's the case, then congratulations on the great work you're doing. You may be in an organization where you say, well, I have high turnover, my teams don't seem to fit, I have trouble attracting or keeping the people that I want. If that's the case, I have great news for you. And that's the 3 things I want to share with you today. Here's the good news. The good news is that you can immediately strengthen your organization by employing the 3 steps of intentional hiring. Step number 1. Sounds obvious. Know exactly what you want. Sounds simple, right? How often does an applicant come into an interview, you ask John Doe applicant, what are you looking for, John? And he answers something vague like, I'm looking for a good company. And so you press, well, what do you mean by good company? Well, a company that I can grow with. Somewhere where I fit with their culture. So what you know already is that 1, John doesn't know anything about your company, or 2, he's really in fact just looking for a great paycheck. How much more tragic though, when a company who is looking to fill a key role is saying, we're looking for good people. We're looking for somebody who can grow with us. We're looking for somebody who's a good fit with our culture. It's a crime. The problem is they don't know exactly what they want, because vague questions are going to give you vague answers, are going to give you vague results. And the fact is, vagueness and ambiguity are the enemies of intentional hiring. So, how do you specifically find out exactly what you want? 2 things. 1, identify your top performers in each role of your organization. Okay? Now, when I say identify top performers, I'm going to press you on that. As an outsider, I don't know why they're top performers, so I'm going to press you for some objective metrics that you can use to explain to me why they're a top performer. So, once you've identified these are my top performers in each role, now you're going to identify the key characteristics that they share in common. Well, how do you do that? Well, we do that through employee assessment tools. So, for each role, your top performers have all taken the same employee assessment tool. You have taken the results and you have blended together what you know. These are the key traits for each of the key roles in my organization. So now, instead of an interview that sounds something like, I'm looking for good people to grow with my company, the interview for that specific role sounds something more like, maybe I need somebody with high motivational intensity. I need somebody who is low on the objective judgment scale. I need somebody who is extremely accommodating. What you're doing now is you are looking for specific traits that you know look like success. So, number 1, you have identified your top performers and identified exactly what you're looking for. Step number 2. This is going to be your favorite one. Now that I know exactly what I want, what we're going to do now is we're going to force applicants to weed themselves out through a self-interview process. It's true, it can be done. Here's how. If you feel like finding great talent is like finding a needle in a haystack, what we're doing right now is we are making a much smaller haystack, so it's much easier to find that needle. Here's how we do that. Our top performers have all undergone an employee assessment tool, right? We take that same tool and we apply that to somebody who is applying for the job. Now, there's going to be 2 results that come from this, and the first one might shock you. You administer this employee assessment tool to somebody applying for your job. You will be stunned how frequently they don't get completed. So what you've done is you have set a very low barrier to entry into your organization for somebody wanting to join your group, and they're not even willing to jump over that small hurdle. Now, is that the person that you want in your organization? Now, when this happens, that is the absolute most effective use of a pre-employment screening tool. because now you know I don't want that person if they're not even going to go through that small hoop. But of the people who do complete it, what you've got now is you have got objective information that helps you to look at them at a glance and understand, boy, they look a lot like my top performers. Or they don't at all, but possibly they fit in a different role in your organization. So, the beauty of this process so far is, up to this point, you have never spoken to this person on the phone. They have never been into your office. What you've done is you've taken the burden of the interviewing and you've put it on them and taken it off of you. So, you know exactly what you want. You have forced your applicants to weed themselves out through a self-interview process. Here's the third step. Once you understand those things, now you are only going to interview people who look like your top performers. Now, let me take a real quick pause here, and let me ask you this. Think about all of the resumes that come across your desk in a year. Now think about all of the interviewing time that goes with those resumes that you wish you'd have never spent. Let's just say that if we could take, just unscientifically, 60–70% of those resumes, push those away of people that you never interviewed. What kind of time are we talking about back in your schedule? I know for some of you, you have now just reclaimed weeks of work of people that you're not interviewing. So, we're on step number 3, where you're only interviewing the people who look like your top performers. The beauty of this now is, you are the person deciding who you're going to talk to. You pick the persons you want to interview. And when they come in and they sit down at your desk, what's fantastic is you know exactly why you have them sitting there. Now, depending on the assessment tool that you're using, you might even have been provided with HR legally compliant questions to ask them specifically as per the results that they gave you on their assessment. Now, let's put the icing on the cake on all of this. You've seen a much more streamlined, effective interviewing process here. Now, the person's been invited to the party, they've gotten the bid, somebody from there has been hired. Usually that person's manager is going to spend months learning about them, their strengths, their weaknesses. What you can do as the person who has brought them into the party is you can provide those assessment results to the manager before they ever come to the job. So that on day one, when they come in, that manager understands clearly, here's where this person is most strong, here's where I think I'm going to have some challenges. You have fast-forwarded that learning curve by months, and it's cost you virtually no time. So, let's wrap this up. Congratulations, you have strengthened your organization by strengthening your hiring process, right? What else have you done? You've reclaimed a tremendous amount of your own time. And thirdly, what you've done, you have increased employee retention by hiring with intention. So what do you do now? One, if you're already using an employee assessment tool, congratulations. Please make sure that it is normed for a pre- and a post-hire tool. Not all of them are. Check that. If you're already using it, check to see if it's giving you the results that you want. If you're not using an assessment tool, or possibly you'd like to take a look at what a different one might do for your organization, that's where I might be able to help you. Email me directly at Ramsey, that's R-A-M-S-E-Y, Ramsey at rightfithr.com. Email me your contact information, let's talk, and it would be my privilege to provide with you a free demo so that you can see in real life what this might look like in your organization. Thank you. Get out there, hire some great people. I'm Bill Ramsey from Right Fit HR. Make great people decisions today.